ఏమండి నా ఫోన్ చేయండి, నేను రికార్డింగ్ లో ఉన్నాను దీంట్లో. My dear friends, I welcome you to a talk on significance of foreign trade. Before talking about the foreign trade, we need to have a brief look at our economy. Indian economy is a mixed economy which comprises the features of both socialism and capitalism. At the outset, after attaining the independence in the year 1947, the government has made a framework and planning commission was formulated. Accordingly, 5 years plans were started since 1950. The first plan gave priority for agriculture, and the second plan for industrialization, and subsequently for village and rural industries, and so on. Now, the planning commission is not in existence, and the NDA government has modified this organization and restructured into a Niti Ayog, an institution designed to national transmission of India with such an institute called Niti Ayog. So, predominantly, India was with more of agricultural occupation and lesser industrialization in the early days of our independence. Even some of the products which were available and were used in the production as raw materials were not abundantly available here, and we were very much dependent on the other countries. Hence, the need for foreign trade automatically arises. From this perspective of foreign trade, if we see, it comprises of both import trade and export trade. As such, the goods which are in large numbers and surplus were exported to the other countries which are in need of them. And on the other hand, those goods wherein we were in need and also being procured by way of imports from other country or countries where the good quality products are available at comparatively reasonable and highly cheaper rates, which are beneficial to our nation. Now, we'll have a look at the significance of foreign trade. India is a member of United Nations with more than 192 nations in that union. There is every need for development of trade, cultural, scientific, social, and friendly relations, which will promote peace and understanding in the international relations. As we are not self-sufficient in all walks, we were in need of those deficiencies which were in short supply and replenish this deficiency with the surplus goods which we had, and this formed the practice of balance of trade. To consider the significance, we can visualize that the resources are very meager and scarce, and at the same time, human wants are unlimited. So, there is every need to see that we have to make every effort to utilize the available talent with planned and prioritize sectoral allocation of resource and mobilize them and utilize them in optimum manner to meet our production schedule. In this consideration, both material resources and human resources need to be planned and accordingly utilized up to the maximum capacity. One more advantage is to make use of the skilled labor, semi-skilled labor with some specialization in the production is very much useful when they are available in our country. This will save a lot of money, and also foreign exchange will also be with us when it is necessitated, where the suitable candidates are not available with required skills and specialties. Then external overseas employment must be opened, and we have to bring the talent from outside the country. So in this way, we will develop our foreign trade, especially if we see in the case of software development and exports, we see a lot of skilled technicians with expertise in various technologies from across the globe are working in United Nations and the like, especially in United States of America. The number is on higher side. This will be a boon because of the foreign trade practice. Next thing is to get the stabilization of prices in the market. Foreign trade is very much felt and it is helpful to maintain the stability of price level. You see, all the nations are not equally endowed with their natural resources. For example, if you take the Gulf nations, the oil, crude, and petroleum products are very cheap. Similarly, tea, food grains, and other things are available in plenty in Asian nations. In this way, the exchange of goods and services by way of exports and imports and ensure price stability. This matching of demand and supplies will help in the maintaining the price stabilization mechanism. So the latest concept is to provide the goods and services which will meet the international standards. So many standards like ISOs with a different series are being followed with a view to ensure the quality in controls and maintain identical standard and uniformity conforming to the homogeneity of the products. This will give scope for the choice of consumer with his different tastes and preference at the required price level and range, which is suitable to his whims and fancies and his demands. Next thing is the improvement of living standards. Now, in the market, consumer is a king. In a multinational company environment, after the globalization, consumer gets a wider choice to take the goods of his choice. He can order any kind of goods and services, considering his likes and dislikes and needs to maintain his living standards. Better and varied services are provided by this foreign trade, and in turn, this will help to improve the lifestyle. The next thing is the foreign trade helps in increasing the rate of growth in a rapid manner. Foreign trade helps in faster growth with meeting the worldwide standard and the rate of speed of the economy will be accelerated, which will ultimately develop the nation, especially export trade will help in making the accelerated growth when the favorable trade surplus is there in the balance of trade position. So it is advisable to promote the national development with the help of foreign trade. Moreover, manpower is a scarce resource and employment opportunities are being opened. The talented, especially the cream of the younger generation, is crossing the borders of the nations to secure the lucrative job services, especially manpower consultancy organizations will offer such services, especially in USA, UK, Dubai, and other Gulf nations and elsewhere. Our Indians are serving in large numbers as skilled technicians, earning livelihood. In addition to this, the top multinational companies like Microsoft, Google, Pepsi, etc., are being manned by our Indian nationals who are given the high esteem positions, and because of their talent, they have got overseas employment, and they are also providing more and more opportunities to our nationals. The next thing is that foreign trade helps in promotion of goodwill among the various nations, which ultimately develop the reputation. It promotes understanding in the fields of cultural, trade, and bilateral relations. Definitely, it will strengthen our relations with other nations. The most important aspect is that balance of trade will be maintaining an equilibrium status. It is a healthy sign to keep always the trade surplus in our balance of trade. But for maintaining this, we need to maintain the very good understanding and cordial relations in the matters of bilateral interest and mutual help, which is highly essential. Next thing is that foreign trade helps in mitigation of loss in the event of any unforeseen natural calamities. The timely and good coverage of the aspects will definitely stand in the way of rendering effective services. by the neighboring nations, which is appreciated by the international community. For example, the worst affected Nepal due to damages in the earthquake and other disasters. India and others helped to mitigate the loss and surmount the difficulties thereon. Likewise, so many other examples which will definitely stand in this way, and this is a seed sown by the foreign trade, and this is happened because of the international understanding. Moreover, this foreign trade will be connecting the markets across the world. After liberalization, privatization, and globalization of trade policies, this will be the very good platform to connect the linkage with the access of worldwide markets in a laptop or palm top system. The technology is so advanced, and global economy is also rapidly improving, and moreover, the worldwide websites are available to get connection with online business and other means of communication for calling for global tenders, which will help in getting the high quality goods with good standard and competitive prices in bidding and helps the economy. This is the sort of connectivity which will try save a lot of time and money and avoid the complications involved in the communication channel. Moreover, secrecy will be maintained and nobody will compel because the customer is the king and selections will be made as per his choice. So the system will be highly transparent. Moreover, the growth of the economy will be very much improved because if the per capita incomes rise, that will raise the national income. Similarly, the development of the nation, so also a chain like reaction will take place and will keep our nation in a better stage. So this will promote our standing and rating in the world so that we will also contribute for the peace and prosperity. So the economic growth is a vital indicator of the national development. There is absolute advantage in the foreign trade with which we can make use of the good offices of the various components and agencies in World Trade Organization, and otherwise wherein some countries which are playing high hand and enjoys monopoly may exploit the rest of the community with high prices. And this will also have an impact on the levels of income. So it helps in the nations having meager and deficient resources to gain advantage from the organizations like WTO and other agencies and absolutely enjoy the good seeds of its developments. The next aspect is that this foreign trade is enjoying the benefits of the large scale operations and economy in the production mechanism, which will in turn reduce the price level, and thus there is a lot of scope for availing discounts on bulk purchases and door delivery by the supplier and reduce the cost. So this sort of price discrimination will definitely help the buyers, wherein margins of the profit will increase and the national income will rise to that level in proportion. So this is a healthy sign of the foreign trade. Last but not least, the foreign trade is also a source of revenue, wherein the country will generate more income by way of customs, tariffs, other duties, import duties, anti-dumping duties, and the like. In addition to this, the normal import licenses and other applicable fees will also enrich the revenue of the government, which will otherwise go to the community for the development. So it is indirectly helping in the national development. Now, in a conclusion, we can make a summary and come to a understanding that the foreign trade will no doubt improve the several factors to make our economy to the extent possible self-sufficient. In addition to this, it will promote cultural and trade relations and also helps in unnecessary wars between the nations to be prevented with their timely intervention. Moreover, it develops cordial relations and promotes fraternity with peace and understanding among the world community. With these few words, we conclude this talk. Thank you. very much.